Today, we're going to witness the most anticipated debate in the history of cryptocurrency legitimacy for the heavyweight crypto championship of the world. Are you ready? Crypto fans, are you ready? For the hundreds in attendance and the millions watching around the world, here at Shitcoin 2022, Miami, Florida, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to crypto! If it ain't Bitcoin, it's a shitcoin. These are the words of a natural-born Bitcoin maximalist. He has an entire podcast series called Crypto Scams, dedicated towards documenting why shitcoins are scams. He's been involved in the cryptocurrency ecosystem since 2013, has been very active in spreading the relevance and importance of this technology as it helps promote economic freedom, has a master's degree in financial engineering with a bachelor's in mathematics and geology. He's a man who's worked on Wall Street as a risk analyst for Bear Stearns and later became a VP at JP Morgan in the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis. His experience is his economic trends and trading risk analysis. Welcome to the Shitcoin ring, Vays. He was born in a country that produces the best coffee in the world. If you never took geography class, I'm talking about Colombia. He's been working in the crypto space for over 10 years now. For some, that's legendary. For others, that's simply extraordinary. He's a true freedom fighter, has always thought about humanity's most concerning issues from a libertarian's perspective, which led him to seek where almost no man is looking, privacy coins, and how they can empower the average person so we live in a freer world where power is decentralized and true financial freedom isn't just a fairy tale. He runs one of the largest crypto research study groups known to man, called the Crypto Vigilante. I mean, is there anything this man cannot do? He is his degree in continental philosophy and psychology. Please welcome to the Shitcoin ring, Rafael LaVerde.
So unfortunately, we only got one mic today, so play nice, boys.
Or you can project your voice.
I can do that. No, you need it for the recording.
So, first off, what I really want is for you guys to learn something from this. Because it's easy to get up here and throw mud at each other, but the real goal here is for you guys to come out of this with more knowledge, with a more well-rounded understanding of what Bitcoin is and what the space is in general. Tone, you want to get started? Is Bitcoin a shitcoin? Well, how much time we got?
You got 25 minutes.
You got it. All right. Bitcoin is the first and only decentralized digital asset. And the word decentralized is really important. The word shitcoin first appeared around 2010, just in a post where someone wrote, everyone's going to copy the Bitcoin code, just change a line here and there, and they're going to call them Nitcoin, Pitcoin, Shitcoin, and people are going to run into them because everyone always feels like they missed the Bitcoin bus. You didn't miss it, guys. No matter when you got in, unless you mined it for nothing, you didn't miss it. The train's just leaving. It's getting there, but you didn't miss it yet. You can still get on it. And everything else will just fade away as time goes on, just like fiat currencies.
Right on, right on. So yeah, he's 100% right. We're still in the very early stages of Bitcoin, guys, of crypto in general. And so when we ask the question of Bitcoin itself, we have to look at the arguments that led to the success of what we know as BTC. And those arguments taken to their logical conclusion leave us with a BTC that is crippled, that does not stand within it, that cannot stand underneath the weight of its own marketing and rhetoric. Unfortunately, BTC is crippled in the area of fungibility. Bitcoin's rhetoric is amazing, and everyone should learn its arguments. But if you want to actually live with those arguments in real life, you need to understand that you need to be fungible at the protocol level in order for crypto to be true digital gold and true digital cash and a true store of value. When you weigh Bitcoin in the area of store of value in comparison to Monero, it falls short in every single way. From the store value itself, if you track and compare the moment when Bitcoin and Monero started competing in the open market in the large exchanges, starting from the moment that Monero was listed on Poloniex, to the extent that there has been more forethought in the creation of Monero, in that it gives us sound money by means of ensuring the financial health of the Monero miners through the and emission. BTC has a huge problem in that area, in that they did not, BTC does not have a way really to foresee the financial health of its miners into the future as the block reward subsidy decreases over time, making BTC susceptible, as we're starting to see, to be the bitch of the establishment, where if Elon Musk sends a tweet saying it's not green enough, the BTC miners will bend the knee, and the centralized core devs will tweak the code, and right now they're even talking about going into proof of stake, okay? This is a big deal, okay? The argument here is to take Bitcoin rhetoric and marketing, because the vast majority of people in crypto don't have the time to be an analyst like us. The vast majority of people trust us, and what they want is honesty about what it is that Satoshi gave us, what it is that this revolution is about. But the reality is that people are, to the point, lying to people, saying that Bitcoin went private when it's not. And that is very dangerous, extremely dangerous, because there is no privacy in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is butt naked. You're walking around naked on the internet. It's like having your bank account and your name and social security number stamped on your forehead and you're walking around. That is really fucking dangerous, okay? And I think I've spoken enough, so Tony, here, have your time.
All right, wow, a lot was said there. Should have taken notes. Though I don't really need to, I did the last crypto scam episode I did was about Monero, and basically explaining why Monero is a crypto scam. And man, don't you hate it when things become a bitch of the establishment? Don't you hate how the internet is a bitch of an establishment? Like every major establishment uses the internet. If I built a private internet, about 8 people use it, why aren't you guys using it? Why aren't you using the private internet that nobody else uses? Why do you use the bitch of an establishment internet? Look, at the end of the day, Bitcoin is not what I say it is. Bitcoin is this evolving, breathing, decentralized piece of code. People tried to make that code in their vision, and they failed in 2017. That was a big battle. The block size war was serious. And Bitcoin, I can't even explain what Bitcoin is. It takes on a path of its own. That's what keeps it decentralized. As for the store of value, the value of Monero versus Bitcoin is down between 85 and 90% in the last 3 years.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You're not charting it from back when it was listed on Poloniex. What you're doing is only looking at it from the perspective of starting from Binance. You gotta do it right, man. It's like saying that Mt. Gox doesn't matter, and you're only gonna start charting Bitcoin from the moment that it was listed on Coinbase.
By that metric, Bitcoin started at 0.
Did you forget CoinPal too, man? That was an exchange as well. You know, Bitcoin has a history as well that we can't start nitpicking exactly where it starts. When you start comparing the moment Monero was in existence, at that moment, it has been a better store of value than Bitcoin, okay? In existence, in the moment when it was listed on Poloniex, okay?
Can I go on?
Yeah, exactly.
Bitcoin had a value of 0 for the first year and a half. By the time all of these other shitcoins, remember guys, there are 3,000 shitcoins. We can sit here years later and choose the 20 winners out of 5,000. But at the time, you don't know which of the 20 are going to be short-term successful. And while the marketing campaign for Monero was great, I've gone to conferences sponsored by Monero. I've never been to a conference sponsored by the Euro or the South African Rand, you know. I've never gone to a conference sponsored by Bitcoin because no one controls Bitcoin. No one has a marketing team for Bitcoin. No other shitcoins didn't have a charismatic leader like Fluffy Pony to hype it up for a while. And this trend over the last 3 years, where Monero dropped 90% against Bitcoin, over the last 3 years, will continue. It will continue until the value of one Monero versus Bitcoin is irrelevant. Now, in dollar terms, Monero could be, you know, $300, $1,000. Maybe it'll get back to $1,000. But by the time Monero gets to $1,000, Bitcoin's in the millions. Okay. Now we can talk about the privacy aspect of Bitcoin versus Monero. Again, how many of you use the Tor browser? Raise your hand. We're in a room of anti-establishment, anarchists, hate the government, we love our privacy. About 3 or 4 hands went up, okay? How many of you use like a Telegram app? Almost every hand needs to go up, right? How many of you use Telegram app secret chat, which is actually private, right? Most hands go down. Okay? You can have the best privacy messenger in the world, but if 5 people in the world use it, it is not very useful. The best use of time, value, effort is to make the tools we have more private, more fungible. Now, Bitcoin developers chose the path for mass adoption is more important than on-chain privacy and fungibility.
What? Can you please repeat that?
It's important.
It's important. Repeat that again.
Yeah, they chose a path. Satoshi did as well. Satoshi did not put privacy on Bitcoin from the start, okay? Because when you have huge privacy inside the code, you can miss very critical bugs in the code, okay?
Oh my gosh, Russ,
it was more important.
Dude, do you not understand what you're talking about? This is open. Hey, Tone, this is
Let me finish. You're getting very angry. The reason, guys, the reason why when I'm in these debates, the other people get very angry is because they have a passion about something no one else gives a shit about. And they get very angry why the other people don't give a shit about it.
And stop promoting Bitcoin as being fungible digital gold and digital cash, because you obviously care about it.
But I'm not
You
gonna.
obviously lie about it.
Well, I'm not gonna sit here and promote a scam.
You are. You're actually promoting something even worse, which is that it's like you think that being in an open relationship, although there be more people, gives you more security in your relationship, dude. No, dude, she's just sleeping around with more people. Just because you call it an open relationship, everybody knows your business, bro. You're like Will Smith with Jada. That's all that's happening here, okay? All right? You are giving quote-unquote success to people under the illusion of fake freedom. Look at what happened. We have use case after use case, case scenario. What happened right now with Canada? If they can't see what you have, it's confiscatable. You call Bitcoin unconfiscatable, and that's bullshit. And you know it's bullshit. And you're smiling, lying to people. Because it's not true digital gold, true digital cash. And people do care about fungibility. They do care about privacy. Because your entire rhetoric, and the rhetoric of Andreas Antonopoulos, who just lied recently this week as well, and Mark Moss as well, that just lied about the same shit, and it's almost like you guys are being given the same fucking script to say the same damn lies. Let me tell you something. On a transparent ledger, it doesn't matter how much liquidity you got. All it means is that there's just more people. It means that we all know about your business. Just because they have an open relationship doesn't mean that by being with more people, it's obfuscated. No, dude, it just means we all know what's going on. That's all it means, okay? No, you give me a second. Bitcoin sells a lie. And it's all, at this moment in time, guys like me have had to come out of our own privacy in order to speak up. Because guys like him are lying to people, selling them a bag that doesn't actually contain what the rhetoric and the argument is. Bitcoin is not fungible. Is Bitcoin fungible, Tone? Yes or no? It's not, and you know it's not. You know it's not fungible. It's censorship. It can be censored, and it doesn't matter how decentralized it is. It's in a glass house. His argument is, well, Bitcoin has more liquidity. All of the transactions are open to surveillance, are transparent and open to financial voyeurism. All of the transactions. It may be difficult for you to track and trace transactions on the blockchain, but blockchain analytics and AI make the whole entirety of an open blockchain like Bitcoin completely open to mass surveillance, guys. These guys need to start telling the truth because they have been lying to people. And I want to hear you tell me how Bitcoin's fungible. Because Chainalysis just recently, no, dude, it's not, okay? It's not. It doesn't fit the bill of sound money. It's not. Chainalysis just showed us that the Lightning Network is butt naked as well, with centralized liquidity. You have to know exactly where all the nodes are in order to actually process transactions for them to route across the network. That's what's going on. Stop lying to people, man. All right? Stop fucking lying to people, dude. Do your work, dude. Seriously.
He just name dropped some of the most real respected, honest people in the space for lying with that show.
They're lying to people. Stop fucking lying.
So, decentralization is actually the only important part in the whole blockchain equation. And the Bitcoin core developers chose to add
censorship resistant.
They chose to add privacy and fungibility in a slightly different way. And that way was through sidechains instead of on-chain Bitcoin. There are use cases for full transparency of Bitcoin transactions. Here's an example. Do you guys know how the government is spending your tax money? Of course not, right? But what if we put that on the Bitcoin blockchain? All of a sudden, everyone's going to be happy how transparent that shit is, isn't it, right? So there are use cases for full transparency.
Yeah, there are use cases.
Now,
There are use cases, yeah.
we already have a sidechain called Liquid. How does liquid work? Take your Bitcoin, move it over to the liquid sidechain, convert it into liquid Bitcoin, which is pegged directly to Bitcoin, no currency volatility risk, losing 90% in 3 years. And the transactions on the liquid sidechain are just like Bitcoin transactions, because they have the same value as a Bitcoin. Those transactions are fully private and fully fungible. Now, the liquid sidechain is not as decentralized as the underlying layer of Bitcoin. And this is where the Monero people really get pissed off, because they're like, but it's not as decentralized. Right, but your chain isn't as decentralized as Bitcoin. So what matters more to you? A private fungible transaction, or the speculation in the bag of Monero that you're holding? And this is another reason why they get very angry with private solutions for payments that are still within Bitcoin but not on the Bitcoin blockchain. Another problem with people that believe in shitcoins, whether they are things like Litecoin that's supposed to be more scalable, whether they're things like Monero supposed to be more private, is that once you go down the path of other than Bitcoin, you have just announced to the world that the moment something new come along, you will switch. Even Vitalik, even Roger Ver, all of them. The moment you sway from Bitcoin and actually believe, like I'm a trader, I don't care if you trade anything, I don't care if you trade horse manure, I don't care if you trade, shitcoin number 5,000 on the coin market cap. You want to make more money, great. You want to make more Bitcoin, you want to make more gold, you want to make more dollars, you want to make more Venezuelan bolivars, whatever you need to put food on your table, that's great. Once you start believing in these old coins and you start holding them for the long term, you are announcing to you and your friends and everyone that the moment something better comes along, you will switch. The moment something better comes along, you will switch. So better privacy coins have already come out since Monero, and a lot of Monero people already switched. Some are staying there, but there's nothing keeping them there. Nothing keeping them there, and I don't even know who codes that thing anymore. And as the value of Monero keeps going down, its mining will fail.
You're wrong.
Mining will fail.
You're wrong, dude. Everything he just said is completely wrong. Like, it's fucking incredible. And dude, and you should really redo your video on Monero, because I watched it, unfortunately, yesterday. It really sucked. If you don't know, you Giacomo Zucco and that other guy don't know what the fuck they're talking about, man. You guys literally, like, it's fucked up, bro. I'm telling you, do that again. And invite a real programmer to. Andrew Postra, look, Andrew Postra is really cool. He shows up to a lot of Monero conferences. He's one of the Blockstream guys. Invite him over, bro. He will help you a lot, for real. Anyways, look. If you follow the BTC logical conclusion of them reading Satoshi saying one CPU, one vote, Monero follows that to its logical conclusion by being ASIC resistant. That allows Monero to be censorship resistant, meaning that you can mine Monero from a laptop anywhere under communist dictatorship. No one knows that that laptop is mining Monero. That's very important, okay? Also, you said so many things. Gosh, Liquid is not really a sidechain, guys. That was a bait and switch marketing scheme by Blockstream, and they really did not give the world a true sidechain. Paul Storks, who created drive chains of Truthcoin, he actually gave the world sidechains, and I had an interview with him recently. He doesn't even know the proper process of introducing things into BTC, because it's centrally controlled by core devs that they call the shots. It's centrally planned. Okay, in terms of privacy, you have to have it at the protocol level. You can't have it as an afterthought, and it's been shown already that the Lightning Network doesn't work, and Liquid Sidechain it's really there to be an attestation within exchanges and within financial institutions. The best thing that maybe came out of Liquid was LCAD. But here, let's go back to the notion of fungibility, because here, guys, we can get caught up talking about many, many things. Fungibility is the means by which one unit of accounts is always interchangeable for another unit of account within within a medium of exchange. Meaning that if you were to go to the store right now, someone in the future can say, hey, I can't take those Bitcoin from you because back, I don't know how many transactions ago, it was in some jurisdiction deemed illicit. This coin right here is tainted. I can't take it from you. It's been happening a lot, guys. And people say they don't care about privacy. Oh, we don't care about privacy till it matters, okay? It's gotten so bad that Paxos Exchange has been sending letters to their people, to their customers saying, because blockchain analytics does not just only look at you from the past, but also looks to you onto the future. And they told them, hey, we're gonna have to close your account, freeze your account here, and guess what happens? According to the travel rule by FinCEN, that is connected to every other bank account that's connected to that account. All of that is now suspect, at the very least suspect. And so they not because of what it's about what the person did with his coin once he purchased it from the exchange. He sent it to a Wasabi wallet for mixing. CoinJoin is bullshit, guys. CoinJoin is like, anyone that wants to track and trace CoinJoin, all they have to do is constantly put their own coin in there and saturate the CoinJoin, and then probabilistically they can figure out exactly who owns what or where. And with metadata, guys, Bitcoin is a transparent surveillance coin, and it's very dangerous because it will never achieve the level of privacy that they champion, that they want, because underneath their arguments is the need for privacy at the protocol level. They want Bitcoin to be digital gold and digital cash. It's not, and it will never be. On a second layer, it's also a failure. And a lot of the Monero communities, especially, a lot of researchers throughout the world have already shown in many ways how the Lightning Network can be easily Sybil attacked. And the only way that the Lightning Network actually works is by having centralized liquidity. You have to know how to, you have to have an idea of every moment in the Lightning Network, know exactly where all the hubs are, and the states of all the hubs at every single moment. So they're actually, they've in the past even proposed something like watchtowers, a centralized authority that oversees transactions on the Lightning Network. The only way that even works is by having centralized liquidity. In other words, Strike, for example, or any of these companies that work on the Lightning Network, they only work because they control all the liquidity within that network. In other words, the best second layer that BTC has is called PayPal. Wake the fuck up. Like seriously, you're dealing with people, you're dealing with people's lives here. And you're selling them something that is confiscatable. It's completely confiscatable. The people that need Bitcoin are not people that are living and that want cryptocurrency, are not people that are already well off, that are already doing well within the legacy financial system. Bitcoin was created for the masses, for the world. And unfortunately, if you follow the logical consistency, the premises of the arguments of BTC, the conclusion goes down to Monero. Monero is everything that BTC desires to be.
All right. So, look, there is a higher level of battles that some of us are trying to fight. Sure, you could, buy, say, your drugs online in the most secure, private way possible. But you know what's a better solution? Making them legal, so that you don't have to hide. You know what's a better solution than trying to protect your speech from you being taken advantage of? Not having the government spy on you, okay? That's the bigger picture. There is no such thing as a non-fungible Bitcoin transaction in El Salvador because Bitcoin is legal tender. You know, your dollars in your pocket are just as good no matter how much cocaine residue is on them when you go use them at a store. They're perfectly fungible. They have to have a serial number on it. That's because the dollar is legal tender, right? And even the government knows that if your $100 bill in your pocket and my $100 bill in my pocket have a different value, the whole economy of the United States will collapse as long as there's a cash economy. Now that we're going to a digital, that's a problem. That's a problem for the dollar. But the goal is that as people continue to adopt Bitcoin, as countries continue to adopt Bitcoin, that the right people, I'm not saying we need new laws, I'm saying we need to remove laws. Money laundering laws are some of the most criminal laws that we have in the entire world. And the removal of those money laundering laws is more important than hiding your transactions with maybe 1,000 other people around the world, and that's all you're ever going to do. You know, if you're going to change the world, you need critical mass. And as people continue to adopt Bitcoin, as people get wealthy on Bitcoin, these are going to be the people that are going to create their own new countries. These are going to be the people that are going to run their own societies. And these people will not care about that part because every transaction will be available to use. That's the bigger part. When you try to pick some token out of 5,000 and convince your friends and family and maybe a dozen other people, maybe if you have a channel like the Dollar Vigilante, you can convince 1,000 people. You're not going to convince the majority of the world. And on a longer time scale, all you just did is lose these people their life savings if they continue to hold that token and they're not switching like whack-a-mole to the next latest hype promoted coin.
So, you know, that sounded very beautiful, right? But did you just hear what he just said? He just said that the people, literally, this is what he said. Let me interpret it for you guys. He literally just admitted that the people of El Salvador are now under mass surveillance. How fucked up is that? That every single transaction that they make, it's gonna be on a ledger forever. That if the regime changes, because we all know politics is fickle as fuck. You guys trust politicians? Right? And here they are, putting the fate of the most beautiful fucking technology that we've ever seen on the backs, on the arms of politicians of Wall Street. BTC lost its way, and it's now the bitch of the establishment. And they use libertarian rhetoric to sell you fake freedom. That's what's happening here, and it's really sad. Monero has been a better store of value than BTC up until this point since they started competing with one another in 2014. All BTC has is hype, rhetoric. They're not delivering nothing in real time right now. It's a crippled coin because it is not fungible. It is a promised coin that promises fungibility sometime in the future that will never come. And the good news, guys, is that, and I'm not going to talk anymore. The good news is that this is a great time for all of us here. And we have to be aware that we are either building a beautiful future or a global prison for all of your loved ones and your family members. Be very cautious with the decisions that you make in crypto, because you're either going to be promoting love and freedom or you're going to be aiding tyrants like Jack Dorsey, who they adore and they have shrines for. Now they're not saying this, they're buddies with fucking Facebook right now. Like, for real. Right now, it's fucking crazy what's happening with BTC behind closed doors. They're the bitch of big tech, Silicon Valley, and Wall Street. And they think that by playing politics, that all of a sudden, a mass surveillance system is to be accepted by us. And we refuse this fucking global prison that they want to impose by means of trying to use libertarian rhetoric, but we see you coming and we see your bullshit, okay? Do your research, because what only thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get a lot of guys in the dark like me to start coming out more, bro, all right? The real motherfuckers are starting to come out, all right? And we give them a voice at the Crypto Vigilante, all right? People that you fucking know, okay? People that you fucking know. For real, dude, all right? Keep it real, dude.
Crypto Vigilante has not found a scam they haven't given a voice to yet in the last 5 years. I can tell you that much right now. Bitcoin never competed with Monero. That was just some kind of a silly dream they always had. Just another shitcoin, guys. There'll be plenty more to choose from in the very near future and in the very recent past. Thank you.